so welcome. It is the first grade 7-8 youth night of 2021. It is so weird literally saying that 2021, but it is January the 12th. We got our Zoom going on because we still can't meet in person. We're hoping that's going to loosen up. But anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to just jump right into this. We're going to change our format a little bit on the video tonight. Instead of me just talking blah, 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 and then you guys do some discussion, what we're going to do is I'm going to blah, blah a bit. We'll take a break in the video. You'll pause it, have a little bit of discussion with your leaders, jump back in, do a little bit more, and just do a couple of breaks like that, just to keep the connection going. So even though we are Zooming, it is not what we would desire, of course, but it is still excellent for you guys around your computers or laptops, whatever, that you can see each other's faces and that you have that community and you're able to connect like that. So what we're going to do right away is I'm going to throw out some questions to you guys. Now, it is awesome to be able to take a time, January 12th, beginning of the year, just kind of look back over the year. Like, how did this year go? Like, put COVID aside, and we've got a few questions that we're going to throw up on the screen here. We're going to get you guys to pause. You guys are all going to grab like a pencil and a piece of paper or something like that, kind of work down on the answers, take like 2 minutes, and then just share it with your group. All right, so here are the questions. Name the top 3 best things that happened in your life in the past year. Second one, do you think God had something to do with your best things that happened in your life? Why or why not? 3, what was your biggest problem or challenge over the past year? And what is the one thing that you look forward to in the upcoming year? Hey, Leo.
Yeah?
Hey, so I'm going to read to you the most common New Year's resolutions, okay? And you're going to pick which one that you're going to do, all right? Okay, here we go. Exercise more, lose weight, get organized, learn a new skill or hobby, live life to the fullest, save more money, spend less money, quit smoking, spend more time with family and friends, or travel more. Think about it deeply. Make your decision.
I'd say quit smoking.
Okay, good choice. Have you ever made a New Year's resolution yourself? Maybe if you're middle school, that's not something that you've done. Often it's when you get a little bit older, maybe you could be a young adult or an adult, you resolve that you are gonna do something. You are going to change your life this way. You're going to improve yourself in a variety of ways. And you know what? It's good. Like, it's good anytime that you can have personal growth in your life. But here's the thing. To succeed at a New Year's resolution, and whatever it may be, you may be, I want to get really good at a sport I play. You need to actually follow through and do that. Maybe you want to get better at a subject that you have at school. Well, you need to actually study more. Maybe your parents are always bugging you to clean up your room. So you're like, you know what? I'm going to honor my mom and dad, and I'm going to clean up my room regularly. It'd be awesome if Liam would do something like that, right? It's not going to happen. But anyways, you have to actually do it. You have to get off your butt and do it. You have to actually have a plan. And when I Googled, love Google, when I Googled about doing New Year's resolutions, the first thing it said was to make the plan. And what it listed as part of the plan is mentally preparing yourself for change, set a goal that motivates you, be specific, break up and do big goals into smaller goals, share your resolutions with others, and if you fall off track, get back on quick. So we thought it'd be cool to be able to interview a couple of students and a couple of leaders as to New Year's resolutions they might have done before, or New Year's resolutions they're actually thinking about doing right now, or if they were to do a New Year's resolution, what would it be like? But because of social distancing, we can't actually hang out at the church, we can't hang out at anyone's home and stuff like that. So I thought to myself, I'm going to go to their driveway and take my hand and take my stick and put them together. And we basically made this big, huge pole that we would hold out to people's mouths and interview them. Anyways, you're going to see what it's like. We're calling this segment Talk to the Hand.
Talk to the Hand! New Year's resolutions. I'm not really a New Year's resolutions person, but I've been watching a lot of wrestling lately.
But somehow Cena reverses. He's got Big Show up. Oh no!
It made me feel like I really should get in shape. And so it's a cliche, but I really feel like I need to hit the weights, hit the treadmill, start working out.
A New Year's resolution that I had was to have no sugar for the whole year, and I failed 5 minutes after I said that. My resolution for this year would be for sports, to join more sports, because with COVID you can't do any games, so you're just practicing, which isn't that fun, but I'm still going to try to do them all.
Every year I make a New Year's resolution to lose weight and to go work out, and it never works out. It lasts about 2 months on a good year, and other than that, it's usually about 2 weeks.
If I was to have a New Year's resolution, I would make it so that I can play drums better. I'm going to do that by playing drums until I get blisters on my hands.
For New Year's resolutions that I'm actually doing this one this year. We have 2 cats. One of them is very much mine, Peekaboo. Pollywog, not. And I have spurned Pollywog, and she hates me. So my goal this year is to actually make her like me and not treat the cat semi-poorly by, like, knocking her over and stuff.
So some people think it's silly making New Year's resolutions, but I don't know, for me, always, you would get to New Year's Eve and the countdown would be going and the ball is gonna drop and you're getting ready to go outside and like bang pans or whatever, pots, if you guys have done that, maybe light off fireworks. And it's always comes to my mind, like, what should I do? What New Year's resolution should I make? What type of personal growth should I do? And I always want to come up with something right away. So what I want you guys to do, we're going to pause the game. And even if you haven't made a New Year's resolution this year, we want you guys to actually take a couple of minutes and just go around the circle and go, what New Year's resolution in regards to personal growth, and it can be whatever, it can be scholarly, athletic, spiritual, whatever you want to choose. Just grab something, share it with your group, and also make sure you say, how will I do this? What plan will I have in place so that I actually do it? All right, see you guys in a couple minutes. Hey, welcome back. So after having all of you guys do that, can I say that there is nothing actually magical about choosing New Year's Eve to do your New Year's resolution on, right? To make some life choices, right? It's no different than any of the other 364 days of the year. But like I said before, it is great to have a time in our life where we plant our feet and just kind of think about our life, right? And go, where can I have some personal growth? This is a great thing to do. But after having all of you guys make up some New Year's resolutions there, I'm actually gonna kind of burst your bubble a little bit. Because when you Google New Year's resolutions, statistically, the majority of people don't follow up or follow through on their New Year's resolutions, right? People will start off with great intentions. You'll maybe go at it for a bit. Maybe it's a couple of weeks. Maybe it's a couple of months. And then you just start fizzling out. Do you guys have any idea how many people start off at the beginning of January going on a Bible reading plan, and they get really strong and they're chugging, and then they just kind of slow down here. All right. Well, guys, I want to compare that whole thing about getting all psyched, making New Year's resolutions, right? Getting focused, and then just kind of fizzling that out. I want to compare that to another experience that you might have had before, a time of great emotional excitement and passion, and you're just ready, super psyched on something, and then you just kind of fizzle out. And what I'm specifically talking about is, I don't know if you guys have ever been to summer camp before. Okay, if you've been to a Christian summer camp, and I've spoken at lots of summer camps, they generally do this thing on Thursday night where after the speaker has spoken all week, and you can have different themes you're speaking all night, generally on Thursday night, they have the campfire thing. And this is where the pastor or speaker, whoever, is to present the good news of Christ, present the gospel. And it's usually quite an emotional time because the pastor speaker is supposed to put out a call to the students who are there that if you are believing in Jesus and you want to dedicate your life or turn your life over to God, like, to come forward. Or if you are already a Christian there and if you just want to get refocused on Christ, like, this is a time, just come forward. And I'll tell you, from all the different camps I've spoken at, this is quite an emotional time. This is going to be a time of excitement. There's often tears from the students and tears from the leaders, and there's lots of hugs going on, and there's a lot of excitement there too. Now, if you haven't experienced that, maybe you're watching this and you're a little bit younger and you haven't done a lot of summer camp like that. Maybe you went to day camps, right? Always on generally the last day of day camps, they'll do the same sort of thing. You generally don't have a campfire, but they'll present an opportunity that if you want to give your life to Jesus, that it's a time to come forward. I will tell you that my son Liam actually gave his life to Jesus literally 4 years in a row at day camp, as the pastor called me up and goes, Dan, so Liam just gave his life to Jesus again. And it was awesome because Liam was totally excited, right? So it was a time for him to be refocused on Christ. But here's the thing, after a moment like that, when you talk about that summer camp, or maybe even day camp, and you remember that just being so excited, often after that moment, after that excitement, after that passion, after that dedication, it just kind of fizzles out. You just kind of go back to your regular life, and you just kind of lose that momentum there, okay? You had the best intentions that you're just going to follow God. You just had the best intentions that you just want to seek after Him, okay? And then it just kind of fizzles out. Well, I think one of the big stoppers that stops youth or kids from actually just pursuing Jesus after that moment is the fact that they don't actually contemplate what it means, right? When you come down off those bleachers around to the campfire or whatever setting you may be in, right? Or whether it's a church, a day camp and stuff like that, we don't often process and think about, what does this really mean? What is this that I'm doing? I want to throw out a verse here from Colossians, and this is the writer Paul. Let me read to you guys this verse. Colossians 3:17 says this, "And whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do it all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through Him." See, if you're sitting here today, and maybe when you went around your group and you made a New Year's resolution there, and maybe one of your New Year's resolutions was to read your Bible more, or to pray more, or to go deeper in your spiritual life. Maybe you're sitting there and going, I don't even know what I believe about Jesus. I'm not even sure where I am in this whole belief thing. And you want to go more. You want to pursue this. You want to ask questions. Now, here's the thing. You can make a plan. You can read the Bible more, you can be in this group, and you can ask questions, but you have to understand, when we contemplate this, we want to consider Paul's words there. You have to realize that any change that we want to do, whether it's literally like when I'm saying spiritually, if reading the Bible or scripture or something like that, but literally everything that you want to change in your life has to be done with a desire to pursue God more, right? Because everything that you do in your life has an opportunity to glorify God. It has an opportunity to point others towards God. So your words, your actions, the way that you interact with others, all of that have the opportunity. And I think if we dwell on that a bit, right, and we consider that as we make these resolutions, you are going to have a lot more fuel to move forward on these New Year's resolutions. And that's why I want to say, it doesn't matter if you're making it on New Year's, right? If you're literally today, January 12th, say that I want to pursue God more, this is a great opportunity to do this. Now, you may be sitting there and saying, you know what? It's COVID times. It's crazy, all right? Can we just wait till we get past COVID? My life is upside down. It's just really difficult. Can we wait till we get past the COVID things before we start making any resolutions or getting ourselves refocused on God? Can we just kind of, just take it easy right now? I just want to kind of close off here, guys, with a section I read the other day from this author. And this author has struggled with, this is before COVID, she has struggled with a disease that is very painful, and it is an ongoing thing. And I read these words as she wrote, what does it mean in her life to follow God in the midst of trial and suffering? Because here's the truth, no matter what's going on in your life, God is there for you. That you are not doing this on your own. You're not making a resolution or planting your feet for Christ and God's going to look down and go, okay, do it. No. God is there with you, and God will strengthen you, and his grace, his love that is beyond measure will surround you and will carry you forward. So let me read to you what this woman wrote. I was reminded that God's grace is sufficient for me, that his power is made perfect in my weakness, that I needed to wait for him and that he would strengthen me and would supply all my needs. He is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. If I would draw near to him, then he would draw near to me. And as I went through the day, I needed to rejoice in what God was doing, to pray without ceasing, to give thanks even in difficult circumstances, knowing all this was God's will for me. So guys, here's your takeaway. Here's your takeaway for tonight. Number 1, personal growth is good. Number 2, remember that all areas of our lives are to reflect who God is and who we are called to be. And number 3, God's grace and his strength are there for us, especially when we feel overwhelmed. You guys gonna jump back, have a little bit of discussion here, but after speaking about this, about what does it mean for our whole life to reflect the knowledge of who God is, just be throwing ourselves wholeheartedly in this, not holding anything back, that any resolution that we do, any choice for personal growth that we're saying, you know what, this would be a good thing looking ahead at 2021, that I just apply myself to this, let God work in my life this way. Maybe you got to look back at those resolutions that you shared with your group, and feel free to make some tweaks, feel free to make some changes. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.